So a couple days ago, I asked if y'all would like a DeFi Llama review and a deep dive, and the answer was overwhelmingly yes. So I'm going to do this again. We have done some DeFi Llama stuff in the past, but a refresher is always good if you know your way around DeFi Llama, or if DeFi Llama is a new tool for you. This video is going to be really valuable. Where do you find the juicy yields? How do you use the tools available to you on DeFi Llama? There's really only 3 or 4 places you can explore in DeFi Llama. They do have more features than what we can cover in this video, but most of it we're not going to use. Like, most of us aren't too into the NFTs. We don't really have to dive into them. Although if you are, you could explore the NFT section. What we're going to start with is just looking at the overview page. So on the left side, you're going to drop down the DeFi category and you're going to go overview. Here is where you can really have a look at where is the flow across chains, across dexes, across projects happening. So really, this is like an overview of everything. I could go TVL and have a look at what holds the most TVL. Well, Lido does, which is a liquid staking platform. Aave holds one of the biggest TVLs and definitely the biggest for lending. You could change from looking at 1 month volume changes to whatever else you want to do. Now, chains is a really helpful tool here. You can have a look at where is flow happening between chains. So if I want to go, hey, what chain has attracted the most TVL over the last month? I can have a look. I could probably weed out all the small stuff that has, a couple $1 million in there, but I could start looking at some of the bigger chains. And you'll quickly see Ton attracted 128%. They're at 608 million. Scroll attracted 89% at 178 million. Filecoin, 39%, 75 million. You get the point. And what's cool and why this is helpful to us is we could find something with, let's just say this 1.67 billion on base, which still attracted 8.24% TVL. I could click on base and we can quickly start seeing all the different projects built on that chain. So Aerodrome being the DEX, I could sort through TVL. Aerodrome is the biggest DEX in TVL by $628 million locked on the base chain on Aerodrome. All right, so if we are going to yield farm on a DEX, Aerodrome would probably be worth looking at. XtraFi, which is leveraged yield farming and lending on XtraFi, that's got $112 million, up 5% over the last month. Okay. This is a great tool for research. Aave for lending. They're up 30%, 63 million. We lend on Aave over on base. Overnight finance. Hint, hint, massive yields. We do 300% on overnight finance. SushiSwap has some, but what's cool is you go into the what's attracting the most TVL here, let's just say over the last 7 days, and you may be surprised on what you find. So derivatives, limitless, up 174%, really low TVL, but it could be worth researching. Symbiosis up 33%, again, no TVL. Superform up 28% at 4.33 million. You can see how you could find some really awesome projects, some gems. Avantis is an on-chain perpetual DEX built offering advanced risk management, etc. I could go on the website and I could start my research. So if you're familiar with something like a GMX, you can see the similarity here. Perps over on base, Avantis, and so on and so forth. You get the point. Don't want to look at any project specifically, but you get the point. So change is a great category here on DeFi Llama to just start your research, and you'll be amazed at what you find. Over on Solana, we could click it. Jitto, liquid staking. Radium for a DEX. Marinade for liquid staking or lending. I forget now. I got so many projects in my head. Marinade was, I believe, liquid staking on Sol. Optimize your Sol staking. Yeah, that's right. Cool. You get the point. You find some really juicy stuff. You can diversify across projects, across protocols on any certain chain. You can also search for the biggest DEXs, etc. Orca, Solend, we use all of these. So really, really cool there. Next is on the categories tab here. This is a really, really awesome one. is you can have a look at the different categories that maybe you're interested in getting into a little bit more lending because your portfolio is lacking some allocation into lending. You know, I'm a big fan of lending, and it further diversifies the portfolio and it stabilizes the portfolio. Let me know if you want more videos like this on tools and just kind of macro big picture, because I think oftentimes we can get really focused on the small stuff and we miss the bigger picture. You want to build a balanced portfolio, and I do believe that at least 10% of your portfolio should be allocated into lending. Plus, that gives you dry powder. It gives you assets that you can liquidate quickly and then use them to actually get back into the markets when there's pullbacks, which, well, there's many pullbacks because we're in crypto. So you could go over to the lending category and have a look. Oh, there's Aave, JustLend, Spark, Compound Finance, Venus. All great platforms. Solend, great platform. You get the point. Moonwell. What else do we got that I recognize? Cavalend. What else do we recognize here? Suilend. You get the point. Zest. I actually kind of remember looking at Zest. But again, you could find some awesome gems in here. Have a look. What's growing? What lending protocols are growing? If you see something growing, that may be worth investing in that native token of that project if they have one. And then you can ride the appreciation of that token because the protocol is growing. And again, people start seeing that. It starts hitting top charts. People start talking about it. Twitter starts sharing it. Next thing you know, you've doubled, tripled, quadrupled because you are an early investor within it. Real T, which is an awesome, awesome project. I love real world asset projects. Again, they only have 1.34 million, but they've grown by 15% over the last week. Super, super awesome. Second place you're going to probably hang out a lot. I know I'm moving fast. Let me know if you want, looks like we're partying. Let me know if you want more videos like this or like a part 2, part 3 on DeFi Llama. I'd even be happy to go live for a good hour over in our free course, which if you don't have access to yet, do let me know in the comments. But over on the free course, we do go deeper in on some of this stuff. As you can see, it's a pretty in-depth course. It is free, and I do get messages saying that the free course was better than a lot of paid stuff people paid for. Worth checking out, but we do explore lending and borrowing, and we do explore different protocols and projects and really have a real-time look at how those work. All right, back to business. So over on pools, what you could do is you could search for returns. Now, you probably don't want to get and chase 3 million or 366,000% returns, but what you could do is you could go TVL, minimum $500,000, let's just say, and start getting a little bit more realistic and finding some stuff that, like this Wells Arrow we entered, OVN USD we entered. Look at that, 1,600%, which this is a little overinflated based on we were getting. But right now, again, with more volume flowing around the USD plus and OVN, because of the recent dip and because of the recent increase in volume, both up and down, yields have skyrocketed. We've been earning some awesome money on OVN USD plus. And this is a way where you can start your research. You can open up a spreadsheet and say, okay, I'm going to investigate this one. I'm going to investigate EXA wrapped ETH, extra wrapped ETH. I'm going to investigate this Wells. I'm going to investigate this ARB USDC over on Merkle. You get the point. You'll investigate it. And it's not like you're going to get into all of these. All I'm saying is there's OVN USD plus on Aerodrome V1, full range liquidity, super, super easy, hands off. We're definitely in this one. You get the point. Now you can also categorize from also different chains. So maybe we just want to stick to base right now. Like we just want to stick true base. Okay, there we go. You could also go by project. So maybe we just want to switch to Uniswap or Aerodrome or whatever. You could also go category with, hey, I'm just looking for lending on base. There we go. I could search for highest APY. Looks like we can get some Arrow on Moonwell at 31%. Super, super awesome. $3.27 million locked. Aave USDC, 5.82%. And everything kind of down from there. Again, if you're sitting on assets long-term, you may want to think about lending them. So hopefully that really, really helps there. Next, again, I don't want to make this video 6 hours long. We can go into fees and revenue. This is where you can see actual fees and actual revenue generated on whatever platform and project you want to look at. So maybe you want to go, where are we here? We're going to go advanced. There we go. So we could look at Arbitrum and have a look at projects and protocols that are earning some really, really awesome revenue. So we could categorize it from most fees earned. GMX, we kind of mentioned it during this video, has generated $1.39 million in fees over the last 7 days. Who gets the fees? Us as investors. Uniswap, $1.16 million. Again, I'm over on Arbitrum here. Aave, $1 million over the last 7 days. Pretty awesome in terms of fees. And then we got our revenues here. We can keep going. Camelot, kind of get the point. Radiant, very bullish on Radiant. I've been stacking some Radiant tokens since the entire bear market, actually. You never know what you might find. Beefy here over on Arbitrum only, of course, only $8,000, but have a look at what they've done most likely over on Base. There we go. Aerodrome, $1.67 million in fees and revenue. PancakeSwap, $1.27 million in fees. Extra Finance, $100,000 over the last 7 days. Beefy, $47,000 over the last 7 days. Again, Beefy is a yield optimizer, and they pool together users' funds, provide liquidity, and auto compound for you. Basically, we've done some videos on Beefy. If you want another video on Beefy, do let me know in the comments. This YouTube channel is for you, so you just let me know what you want to see on here. And finally, on the left here, hidden way at the bottom, we have the correlation matrix. What is correlation? Correlation is calculated by using each day as a single data point, and this calculation depends on the selected period. Basically, correlation, here we go, positively correlated variables tend to move together. The closer to one we are, the more correlated they are. So if a one moves up, the other moves up with it. One would be a perfect score, and -1 would be a horrible score, and 0 is basically neutral. So as you can see, Bitcoin and a stable coin don't move up together. They don't move down together. They're uncorrelated, and they're right neutral in the middle. So you can start getting an idea of the scale for things. Bitcoin's moving up, USDT stays where it's at, 0. Bitcoin moves up, ETH moves up with it over the last year we're looking at here. It's a perfect one correlation, meaning they're basically moved up at about the same pace over the last year. Let's find something that's uncorrelated. We'll go XRP. There we go. So XRP is a -0.1 along with BNB here. So BNB moved up and XRP slightly moved down. Now we're in the red. And if you're yield farming the two, now you're in a bit of a problem. And so typically when we yield farm, not always, but typically, especially in a bullish market, we want to be fairly correlated so both assets rise in value and you're getting paid yields. In a sideways market, we don't really care for correlation. We don't mind a 0 because prices aren't really moving up or down. They're just kind of hanging out. And here's where you want to look at impermanent loss and think, will my fees outpace impermanent loss? And obviously there's calculators for that. If you want a video on different calculators you can use for impermanent loss, do let me know in the comments below. That's where you'll be hanging out most of the time. Once you're familiar with those, I challenge you to jump in here and have a look at some other categories that might pop up. Maybe you want to look at NFTs. Maybe you want to look at some of the airdrops, which I think airdrops.io is a bit of a better platform to help find some of these, but DeFi Llama is still helpful if you're more of an airdrop farmer or you're just looking for airdrops. You could look at things that have been added recently. Sometimes you can find some really early stuff, like something that's growing really, really fast and it's only 3 days old type of thing. Again, you can start exploring. You can have a look at bridges, look at which bridges are being used the most. Maybe you're looking for a bridge to use and you want to trust it. This is great research to start that, or a great place to start that research, etc. So DeFi Llama is an awesome tool. And I'd say it should be bookmarked and you should be using it almost on a daily basis if you're doing this yield farming, passive income, DeFi portfolio building. Goodness, I know we use it every day, and a lot of the research we bring to the community, a lot of it is built upon screenshots and research that starts within DeFi Llama and then expands out into some other tools we use. So this should be something we use often. If you're not using it, you're probably flying blind a little bit when it comes to the yield farming game. So highly recommend you get familiar with it. Hope this video helped. If you like this video, like it, subscribe to this channel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move myself in the middle, and we're going to throw some videos up on the screen here and here and here and here. Study this stuff. Dive in deep. Financial freedom through building a DeFi portfolio, I think, is one of the fastest way to create cash flow and invest for the long term in projects that you love. So these short-term market fluctuations don't really bother you. Your portfolio will go up and down. Doesn't really matter, but you're earning yield and you're in assets, coins, and tokens that you want to hold long-term. So to me, it's a win-win. Check out the other videos. With that said, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you. Peace.